In this video, I'll go over what polymorphism is. I suggest you watch my previous video where I go over what inheritance is before watching this one, as it explains things I will not cover in this video. Using the same example from the inheritance video, we saw that we were able to reuse a lot of code by simply extending the parent player class and inheriting everything from the player class into our subclasses. So we did this for each player type. Now this is good, but besides their names, each player subclass doesn't really do much to distinguish itself from the other player subclasses. So how do we go about making each subclass stand out without losing what we've gained from inheritance? With polymorphism, we can modify the behavior, the methods, of the subclasses to make them unique and give them their own personality. In this example, let's change the elf's attack method and the warrior's defend method to make them unique. As you can see, we still have access to all the parent class's methods thanks to inheritance. We can reuse the calculation logic for both attack and defend by calling super.attack and super.defend. In Java, super is a keyword that allows us to use methods from the current class's superclass. So in this case, we're using the player class's defend method when we do super.defend. In order to override a method in a subclass to make it different from the superclass method, the method must have the same method signature. So what this means is it must return the same type, have the same method name, and also take the same number and same type of arguments. So in this case, to override the defend method, we return type void, so we return nothing, have the same name called defend, and take one parameter, which is an integer, and the name doesn't really matter as long as it's the same type and the same number of arguments. So let's run our fighting game again. Now, thanks to polymorphism, our subclasses have their own unique personalities, and we can still leverage all the stuff that was inherited from the superclass. This works because Java will recognize the type of object even if it's been casted to its superclass. So when you invoke a method, it will check that subclass first if it has that method, and if it doesn't, then it will check its superclass. So in this example, Java sees that two players are actually of type elf and warrior. So when it goes to invoke the attack and defend methods, it will check the elf and warrior classes first to see if they have the methods defined. In this case they do, so Java will use this implementation of the defend and attack methods. You may have also noticed that both classes haven't defined a getHealth method. So in this case, Java will see that the subclass does not have this method and will check the superclass, in this case player, and we'll see that it does have a getHealth method. In this case, it will use the superclass's implementation of the getHealth method. Java will keep going up the class hierarchy until it finds a definition of the method it's looking for. If that method does not exist in the class hierarchy, then Java will give you a compiler. So if we try to invoke a method that doesn't exist, we'll get a compile error because it doesn't exist in the player class, and also it doesn't exist in the player class's superclass, which is the object class. This marks the end of this video, and if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment below. If you found this helpful, please feel free to like and or subscribe. And I hope to have another video for you shortly. Thanks.